Hello, and welcome to a Flashy Podcast on twitch.tv/flash_hound and on youtube.com/flashhound. I am your host, Flashhound, and this is a live podcast on Twitch. If you want to be a guest for a future podcast, scan the QR code on screen and you can get a hold of my socials right there. Comments for this podcast will be disabled. For those watching live on twitch.tv/flash_hound, you can see the spelling on screen. And of course, just a word of advice that alerts and sound readings that are on the Twitch side are disabled for this podcast and every future podcast. On the podcast lineup for today, we have the Anthrocon Fursuit Parade for 2025. As I am pulling up the Twitter or X profile at this very moment, I will, of course, be needing to pull up the profile again because I had to clear my notifications through Twitter/X. Then we have the updates for Twitch regarding affiliate requirements. I'm gonna get that up on screen. And then we're going to talk about the future plans of the channel. As in, will I continue to be streaming full time on Twitch? Will I have a new job that will basically intervene into the streaming schedule? And finally, rounding up the podcast lineup will be TwitchCon San Diego 2025 in downtown San Diego, California. My hot takes for that and more. First up in the podcast lineup will be the Fursuit Parade for Anthrocon 2025. Recently, today, which would be the 4th of June 2025, when this is being recorded live via Twitch with the assistance of OBS. The team at Anthrocon has announced key elements to the Fursuit Parade. as in they are not allowing any person as there'll be a slight music adjustment because the music being provided is from Lo-Fi Girl. But anyway, Anthrocon has stated that for the fursuit parade, they are not allowing anyone to show human skin. So if anybody is into poodling, I do apologize on behalf of the Anthrocon team, but poodling will not be permitted if skin is showing. They will have staff monitoring the parade, and if they see any type or any portion of skin that is visible, poodlers, people who poodle, will not be permitted to take part in the parade. I'm looking on the parade page right now, and they're saying costumes would have to be pre-approved. As in, people will have to, like, go in front of the parade staff and be like, is this okay? And if they give the thumbs down, it'll most likely be probably the poodling, which will be the most obvious reason. And I am all in for this. I'm all in favor for this adjustment to the fursuit parade, because think of it this way. The city of Pittsburgh wants to see furry animals or scaly animals for those whose sonas are not fur-based, like dragons and lizards and newts, or as Sebi Espresso would say, Inca wrens. Those are some good examples of non-furred sonas. At the 2024 Anthrocon Fursuit Parade, I went as, well, myself, but in a partial. I had jeans on, I had my custom San Jose Sharks Hockey Fights Cancer jersey, an old version of it, because I didn't want to bother getting a new version of the jersey. And hockey jerseys are long sleeved, so you may ask, Flash, how did you make sure your human arms don't become visible? Well, here's the trick. I put on the full body fursuit, but I don't attach the tail to the full body suit. I put my pants over it, like the lower part, and then I put my jersey over it. And that is how I prevent my human skin from being visible, because let's say my right sleeve goes up my arm towards my elbow. All of Pittsburgh would see blue fur, not a white human skin. So that's basically how I would approach this. But I am not attending AntoCon 2025. If I was attending AntoCon 2025, then I would not have attended Furry Weekend Atlanta 2025, thus being unable to meet Cinco, Corey Coyote, Broadassu, Jake Panther, Sandy Fox, Cody Nody, Baron Von Derg, Pseudo Fox, Kuro Xanos, just to name a few, in Atlanta, Georgia, in May of 2025. And to be honest, at least Anthrocon has their escalators working, unlike the main hotel of Furry Weekend Atlanta, where the main escalators at the front of the hotel property were blocked off from the general public. So if you wanted to go up the escalators to avoid the elevators, you had to go all the way towards the back of the property. One side was to go up and the other side were to go down, so you had to be on the specific side of the hotel property on the main level, the lobby level, to go up or to go down. And about Furry Week in Atlanta, I have a previous stream on Twitch that recaps my time at the convention, which will soon or has already been automatically removed as of July of 2025 because I am a Twitch affiliate with Twitch Prime being connected to my Amazon Prime account. So streams will go for 2 months before they are automatically removed from the stream history. And now to the next topic. It is the Twitch affiliate achievements. Shortly after TwitchCon Rotterdam 2025, Twitch has made it to where people can get Twitch affiliate easier and what that entails as I try to get the page up and going. Let me just get that page up right now. And of course we're gonna move it down to, well, this. Then we're gonna like get it on screen right here because we're going to crop it. To just this little area right here. And then we're gonna get it like sized correctly to where it is visible for all to see. I do apologize for those on the Twitch side and those watching this on the YouTube side later on for how it looks. But it shows as follows. What used to be 50 followers required is now cut in half. Then there was, of course, if memory serves correctly, it's 7 or 8 hours. I'm just pulling up the email or trying to pull up the email. to find because the email I'm looking for is from 2018. Trying to see if it can be brought up. Should have had all this like okay, so it does bring it up. This is gonna read off the previous criteria that I achieved to become a Twitch affiliate. At least 500 total minutes broadcasted in the last 30 days. If we divide that by 60, that would be like 8 hours streamed, 7 unique broadcast days in the last 30 days, 3 concurrent viewers or more over the last 30 days. The 3 concurrent viewers is still a thing, but it's over the last 4 days, or 4 different days, and at least 50 followers. And of course, we all know that in 2018, subscriptions started at $4.99 USD per month, and we've grown adjusted and accustomed to the current price of $5.99 per month, but that is for the desktop subscriptions only. As the mobile app subscriptions are $2 more. And what does this mean for people who are trying to reach Twitch affiliate now? Well, if they have achieved the requirements that were shown on the screen or on the Twitch stream, for those listening in audio only, you'll not be able to, well, obviously see. But those going for affiliate now, it has become easier, and you may have received a notification from Twitch saying path to affiliate completed. It has not been, well, the update for the affiliate requirements has not even been out for like a week or a month yet. Well, at time of this live podcast, which again is the 4th of June 2025. My honest opinion is that it's like good for people that are like just starting out streaming, but also a bit bad for those who have worked hard to achieve the previous requirements. Now, thankfully, Twitch cannot remove affiliate status unless the person has chosen not to stream for a very long time. I'm not going to give any examples of channels that have lost affiliate status recently. As it would be bad mouthing people. It is basically like a 50-50 depending on where you take it. And moving forward to TwitchCon here in North America in downtown San Diego at the San Diego Convention Center, most commonly known for Comic-Con. It is happening October 17th through the 19th in San Diego, California. Now, why do I bring up those dates? Because a well-known furry convention in northern Nevada, I almost said southern Nevada, this furry convention borders the silver state of Nevada with the golden state of California, but is more like miles into the silver state of Nevada. I'm talking about Biggest Little FurCon, or BLFC for short, as it runs like the week before. People would generally be driving into Reno, Nevada to the Grand Sierra Resort on October 12th and getting all checked into their rooms. And then that Monday after October 12th, people would be lining up to get their registration badge picked up. If I were to attend Biggest Little FurCon 2025, I would actually be showing up 3 days before the con, as in it would be me arriving at the Reno Tahoe Airport, RNO, on October 10th of 2025, going to baggage claim to get my checked luggage, and then checking in for a flight from Reno, Nevada to San Diego, California on the 15th of October, and then having to miss closing ceremonies for Biggest Little FurCon, so I can get a flight from Reno, Nevada to San Diego, California. And I would have to do like 2 cons back to back because I would probably, in theory, take interest in attending TwitchCon San Diego 2025. I personally believe it is like a scheduling issue because it's a coin toss on whether you want to attend Biggest Little FurCon in Reno, Nevada, or TwitchCon San Diego in, of course, San Diego, California. Unless you'd want to do both. That is practically going to run you like thousands of dollars easily in terms of gas to get from your home area if you are living in California or Utah or Arizona, just to name a few states, because I personally can't remember what other states border Nevada. As I look to open the Maps app on my phone and zoom out to see the states that border Nevada, which would be Oregon, Idaho, California, Utah, and Arizona. How could I forget Oregon and Arizona? That is for me to discover and not state on stream or on the podcast. However, I am not to attend BLFC, Biggest Little FurCon, the week before TwitchCon San Diego. Because that's just money I don't want to spend because I currently do not have a job. And I need to focus on, well, staying where I live. And speaking of a job, that is a good transition point into my stream schedule. I have applied to multiple places, including Customs Border Protection, CBP, and the Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, for 2 separate airports. One is in Southern California, that would be San Luis Obispo Airport, which I am to believe is a metropolitan airport, just like my nearest one. I am not going to state on this podcast. Because if I state the name of the nearby metropolitan airport, it would give stalkers a bit of information I do not want to give out. That is, if there are any stalkers or scammers who are listening to the podcast to try to divulge and acquire personal information from me. The other airport is an international airport in the California state capital of Sacramento. I'm talking about Sacramento International Airport, airport code SMF. Now, I applied, I took the test, only thinking at the time that I would be like heavily interested in working in Southern California. Then I get an email back talking about an interview that would be taking place in Southern California. As it currently stands, I have declined the interview for Southern California in San Luis Obispo, and I am waiting to hear back regarding the job potentially lined up at Sacramento International Airport for TSA. And once I get that information update through email, I will update through socials like X, also known as Twitter, and Blue Sky, for example, which both you can find through the QR code on screen now if you scan it with your mobile device. So if I get a job with TSA in Sacramento at Sacramento International Airport, or I get a job that's like much closer, then there will be an impact on the schedule of streams once I get a general work schedule sorted out with the employer. And plot twist, my employer could be based in Australia. A sudden addition to the podcast lineup, as I have recently researched that I could be a dual citizen after moving to Australia, moving way south from California, USA, and being like ahead 3/4 of a calendar day, as in 3/4 up to 18 hours, 18 to 19 hours ahead of Pacific time. So it would be a big adjustment jumping 3/4 of a calendar day ahead and being in the next calendar day ahead of California, USA, if I find an employer in Australia who is willing to sponsor my entry and my employment visa into the country. Now, I've been to Australia before in 2023. I had flown into Brisbane, Queensland, and it is beautiful. I even found a Kmart, and Kmart has not been around in the United States since the 2000s decade. That was like a surprise gem to find. And don't even get me started on their meat preparation or how they cook the meat in Australia, because I go to McDonald's in Australia or Burger King in Australia, as it's called Hungry Jack's in Australia due to copyright reasons that you can research on Google. Like, the meat in Australia is processed much better than how it is here in America, in the United States. And what really was a shocker was when I got to my hotel room in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, that the outlet was not what I'm accustomed to here in America, in the United States. I mean, you look at it as an American, and it's like, what is that? It's like the top half of an outlet in Australia, like each side is at a diagonal slant. I can't remember if it's like going outward or inward. I'll have to look. I believe I'll have to do research on this later and give a confirmation in the description, as I do believe. Actually, let me. So I've grabbed a travel adapter, and I'm gonna like fully get it out of its packaging. That's the beauty of a live and I pull out the Australian outlets have the upper prongs going like towards the center, the top of the prong inward, but I could also have it to where it's like the bottom of the prong being inside. So then I plug it into the Australian outlet. Once I found a Australian to US travel adapter, and everything was fine after that for my trip to Brisbane, Queensland, and Australia. Did meet up with Rusty Wolf and Fox, Fox being spelled F-A-U-X, like foe, and a few others I cannot remember because this was 2023. I would want to give video shoutouts. However, this is going to be posted to YouTube, or it's already on YouTube by the time this is being watched. And one thing I should have disabled on this scene is the fishing regime, because people could have redeemed it in the almost 1 hour we have been going on this podcast. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for a flashy podcast. My name is Flashhound, and if you want to be a guest on a future podcast, you can scan the QR code on screen to get in contact with me. And with that said, I'll see you next time.